spirit animal is the vulture.
I don't know anything about the vulture.
I'll tell you a couple things about it. Why it's my spirit animal. This little bastard.
He's on you. Do you have a fly swatter?
I feel it. Just let it be. We didn't know we were going to have 3 people in the interview.
Are we already recording?
I mean, everything's on.
Oh.
So yes, we are. A vulture can eat carcasses, and it eats dead things. It's a scavenger, and it has a constitution. It's a digestive tract that's able to withstand a lot of disease, a lot of like toxic stuff. Mm-hmm. And I like the vulture for my spirit animal because it's able to turn that toxic stuff into nutrients. And I think for ADH folks, we get a lot of negative social cues and a lot of like pushback and a lot of, requests to change or to be something different. Mm-hmm. Not as much acceptance as you would want.
Yeah.
And so a vulture can take all of that and turn it into something positive. So I mentioned the vulture in relationship to this because it's food, right? Even though this group is not perfect, even though this group is like doing things, that's humans. Humans going to human no matter where they are. Mm-hmm. So that's that group of humans doing it. So if I stay in that group of humans doing it and have like good discernment around it, notice it, recognize it, and then be with it, it can be helpful. Mm-hmm. So I don't necessarily have to leave it unless they're like, I think they did some gaslighty things, but recognizing that and being like, yeah, you can be that way. That's humans. Humans do that. Mm-hmm. I think gaslighting is another word for attempting to influence people or to provide a frame that's more beneficial for the other person, right? It's the frame I want you to have, while probably not acknowledging the frame that someone's sharing. This is my experience. Wait, your experience is this. Your experience is that. I don't know.
But don't you think that like every situation could be framed in that way? And so like from maybe a friendship that isn't really healthy, but it's food, to a job, to a living situation. Okay. So if you look at your life and you think of like this, I'm going to a group because I want new behaviors, new ways of being. And I want, like, the group's purpose is to kind of like reflect things and call you out on things, and right. And then hopefully with calling you out, like redirecting to something that feels healthier or something that feels right. So in that sense, it's like you could apply that frame or that lens or that filter to every aspect of your life. So then wouldn't you want some aspects of your life to be feeding you in a non-toxic way? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
And so I think for me, it comes down to, it's like, what is the purpose of this thing? If the purpose of my relationship is to feel loved and nurtured and to have an equitable give and take, right?
Right.
And the person is not doing that, it's toxic in that way, then it's like, okay, well then I extract myself.
Yeah. I think,
so if the group is, it's like, what is the purpose of the group?
Right. What is the outcome that I'm looking for? Man, this is a place where spiritual bypassing can really like bite you in the butt. Right? Accepting what is, loving what is, all of that type of stuff. Instead of saying like, what is my purpose for being here? What is the outcome that I want from this exchange, from this relationship? It's really easy if I said like, I want to be a good racquetball player. I say that because my dad played racquetball, and so me and my brothers would sit in the court next to him at the Navy base, and he would play like multiple times a week, and we would just sit there and goof off, and then we started playing. And so I played in my life. if you want to be a good racquetball player, you want to be around other good racquetball players.
Right.
People that are better than you.
Right.
So that you can learn techniques and skills and strategies to improve at racquetball.
Right.
So then I think, well, what is my purpose for going here? I want to improve. I want to get better. I want to, grow. So then you say, well, are these people good racquetball players? Or are they bad racquetball players? And then it's not, it's not about spirituality or loving what is. It's about, is what is serving me? Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Is what is serving me. And maybe the lesson is healthy extraction. How do you get out in a responsible, thoughtful way and recognize when it's that way? Yeah. I want to check in at the beginning. I think we could do just like a combination of these. You know what I mean? Like do a little bit of each one. Or we could just do one of them. The first one you chose was when the container breaks, compassion fatigue in the real world. Compassion fatigue isn't dramatic, it's quiet and cumulative. It looks like irritability before it looks like breakdown, and it disguises itself as competence. This episode is a frank conversation about what it means to be repeatedly filled with other people's pain and what happens when the container, however strong and practiced, reaches its limits. And then the other one that you liked was joy is a practice too, and I'm not very good at it. In the work Mary does, trauma, displacement, grief, dysregulation, joy can start to feel either inaccessible or suspicious. This episode explores the deliberate practice of joy, how yoga philosophy approaches it through the concept of ananda and kosha and the kosha model, how clinical trauma work informs it, and how someone who holds so much suffering on a daily basis actively cultivates lightness without pretending the suffering isn't there. That was the second one. And the third one is Phil Phails at Stillness, an honest check-in. A less structured, more conversational, Where Are We Now episode, a genuine check-in between two people who have been on parallel journeys since they last spoke. Rather than a theme-first format, this one follows the natural thread of two honest people catching each other up on what's changed, what's broken, what's grown, and what's still unfinished. The show at its most real. Those are the three. Right, you picked three of them, didn't you? Those are the three. So I think we kind of just marry MMRRY, all three of them, in a way.
Sounds good.
What do you think? So let's start with a check-in. And do not disturbing my phone.
I need to do that. Hold on.
Okay. Where's your phone? Just slide this out. You don't have to limbo it.
Okay.
Like that. Let's see here.
I do have to be aware of the time.
I've got a timer going.
Okay.
What time do you want me to get us out of here?
No later than 10:30.
Okay. Easy. I will. You don't have to worry about time, Mary. I will hold us accountable to that.
Okay.
I will look at this clock and timer every now and again.
My phone is the do not disturb has not been working.
Yeah.
But hopefully I turned the volume down. I did all the things, so. Ooh. Okay.
Ooh, I want to read a poem at the beginning.
Okay.
When you said turn the volume down, I thought of this poem.
Does this pick up sniffles? I'm very sniffly.
It picks up all sound.
Okay. I guess what I mean is the
It picks up sniffles.
Yeah, like the microphones we use, if you clear your throat, it's like really loud.
Really?
Yeah. Like any of the sounds that you make, it's loud.
Huh. Mm-hmm. 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 This poem is called, I don't want that one. I want just a place. There it is. Boom. It's called An Invitation to Brave Space by Mickey Scott Bay Jones. I'm not related to Mickey. An invitation to brave space, which I think these interviews can be. This space, just like talking, sharing openly, honestly, vulnerably, all that stuff. Here's how it goes. Together we will create brave space, because there's no such thing as a safe space. We exist in the real world. We all carry scars and have all caused wounds. In this space, we seek to turn down the volume of the outside world. We amplify the voices that fight to be heard elsewhere. We call for each other to more truth and love. We have the right to start somewhere and continue to grow. We have the responsibility to examine what we think we know. We will not be perfect. This space will not be perfect. It will not always be what we wish it to be, but it will be our brave space together, and we will work on it side by side. I like that.
I like it too. Who is that?
Mickey Scott Bay Jones. Okay. I can send it to you if you like it. I like it. It's like encapsulates the messiness of all this. Mm-hmm. And I like the idea of turning down the volume of the outside world and questioning what we know, what we think we know.
I like how it says there's no safe space. There's only brave spaces.
Brave space, yeah. It's true. Mm. Palo Santo. A little Palo Santo. Do you like the smell of Palo Santo?
Sometimes.
Today?
Let's see.
Is this a Palo Santo day?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Well, we could do a check-in.
Okay.
Let's just do a quick check-in. Or it doesn't have to be quick, however long it takes.
Okay.
Check-in.
Mm-hmm.
When I do check-ins, I do PIES. P-I-E-S.
Okay.
Physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual.
Okay.
PIES. And so you kind of like, how are you in all those 4 areas?
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Sounds good. Are you going to go first?
I can. You want me to model it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Physically, my lower back's a little bit sore. We did like sumo deadlifts with kettlebells last night, and I went pretty heavy. And I think my lower back's still feeling that. And it's early in the morning for some of us. Maybe not for you. And so my body in the morning kind of motion is lotion, and I haven't motioned up the skeleton yet. So there's a little bit of just like waking up energy in my body physically. I feel real clear. I feel really awake. I feel maybe there's a happiness. I noticed the corners of my mouth are turned upward ever so slightly. Yeah, it feels good. There's like a glow in my chest, like a sensation there at the top. And that's physically. That's how I feel. Intellectually, I don't know what's going on intellectually for me. These are always weird, these check-ins, because I want to be present moment, but I find myself in the check-ins like going into the past or into the future in order to find something to share.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Because like the present moment, if this is a present moment check-in experience, it's like, what is here right now intellectually? I think it's like, this is here, like exploring what's here, and I'm not really thinking so much about things as I am responding or being aware of kind of what comes into my mind. I don't know how that works. If I was going to do some woo-woo thing about it, I'd be like, I want to just fine-tune the radio to some universal channel, which I think is this, it's kind of, I feel a little stupid saying it, but I imagine that's what artists do when they say like, I didn't really paint this, I channeled it, or I didn't really write this. I like,
That's what you want in this moment or in life.
That's what I'm doing. I think, yeah, in this moment, that's what I want to do. In life, it'd be nice sometimes. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about in life. I'll just worry about now. I won't worry about it. I'll just talk about it. Yeah, so some intellectually, some like awareness of this practice and being here intellectually. I just said a lot of words that don't really mean anything. How do I say something that's meaningful about intellectual? I don't know. All of that is it. Yeah, that's all sufficient.
More words.
Emotionally, I feel happy. I notice happiness is present. I notice... What's present? Happiness. I feel calm. I got this little feelings thing. Feelings on one side and needs on the other side. It's my nonviolent communication card. I love Marshall Rosenberg. I'm trying to get some MVC certified trainers to come on. There's only one in Texas.
Really?
All of Texas, there's only one certified NVC trainer.
Wow.
Her name's Brent. She lives in Brenham. She's camera shy. Well, I say that. She just won't come on the show. But you can use it if it's dusty, but if I look at this thing and look for feelings, I think there's, I feel friendly. I feel engaged. Probably some expectant. Maybe like what's going to happen. Some excitement there. I like it. I'm on like this side, where on the other side there's like pain and sadness and tense. I notice like what's not present is like some of those discomfortable things. Spiritually, man, I never know how to answer the spiritual one. What is spirituality anyway? What is it? Is it the Palo Santo? Is it this ritual of talking to people? Is it yoga? Movement? Is it... What the heck is spirituality? I'm going to die. I imagine we're all going to die. I have no idea what happens after that. I don't know what happened before this. Some people seem so confident, like I was a queen in some past life and all that. I don't have that. nothing told me what I was in the past life, so I don't know. And I don't know what happens after this life. And I go back and forth between what it means to be a good human daily, you know? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I want to be spiritual. I know that. I just don't know how to define it. Well, why do I want to be it then? So that I can tell people that I'm spiritual? It's just, I don't know. I'm spiritual when I go to a mountain and I look up at it and I'm small. That seems spiritual to me. When I go out to like Colorado and I hike 14ers, I hike up to the top of these mountains and I'm in it. I'm immersed in it. And it's man versus nature. It's man versus self. And it's also awe-inspiring to be, it's just so little in a task that's so big that's going to happen, that's doable. That seems like God and spirituality to me. I love doing that. Do it a couple times a year if I can. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pies. Physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual. I'm checked in.
I'm going to go backwards.
Do you?
C-ipe.
Yeah, C-ipe.
Yeah, okay. You said, how do you define it? And it made me think that with spiritual, maybe that's the issue, is you're trying to define it, right? Because when as you were talking, I was like, he's right. What does that mean when I'm spiritual? What does that mean, right? But I think what came to me was, if I think about times in my life when I felt spiritual, there was some sort of connection, and I can't define it. It was just something felt. You know, so sometimes it was like when my grandmother passed away and I read this book about like how to interact with those that have died. I tried some of the practices, and when I was doing it, it felt very spiritual. And what I felt was like more connected to her, and all those that have left. Well, not all those, but those people that were important to me. And then I thought about when I was traveling in different Asian countries and how that felt spiritual. And at that time, it was because I felt connected to something bigger than me. And then, so anyways, if I go back and I look at different pieces of my life, there was this feeling of connection to something bigger or to myself, like the kind of like the best version of me, you know? Yeah. So I don't know. Where I'm at right now spiritually is lacking, I think. That's what I feel. Like I need a little bit of space and time to have a sense of connection. Mm-hmm.
To yourself, others, the world, in some way.
Whatever it is.
Just like you said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had a moment recently, and I was like, oh, yes. This is what I was missing, right? But I was detached from my everyday life. It's like, you know, those moments where I was at the beach and just listening to the waves and smelling the ocean, and I hadn't been near an ocean in a long time. And so I had one of those moments, right? But then as soon as I got back to everyday life, that feeling of connection kind of, you know, it feels lacking. So that's where I'm at spiritually. Mm-hmm. Emotionally, I feel happy, friendly. I'm using those words.
Yeah, you want
I think I got them down. A little, I forgot the word that you used, but like excitement, excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, but also not excited in an anxious way, just kind of, yeah, because I feel pretty relaxed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Intellectually, I find that one to be really tricky too. If we're talking about the very present moment.
Yeah.
You know? Like in this period of my life, I could talk about how I feel intellectually. But like in this exact moment, my brain just feels tired. So it's like, I can't be intellectual in this moment.
What about in your life right now?
In my life, I feel some days it depends, because I think of intelligence in different ways of, I don't know, like different categories of intelligence.
Yeah, like the Howard Gardner creative intelligences, where it was like musical intelligence and kinesthetic and, spatial. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that. But then also there's like, oftentimes I find that I'm having to, like in one area of work, I have to troubleshoot a lot. And that requires figuring out systems and then how to do this step before this step, otherwise none of it works.
Right.
You know, and then pulling from resources that I'm not, you know, aware of, and then I have to like research those resources. And so in that way, I feel like intelligently challenged, but in a good way. Mm-hmm. Right. Sometimes exhausted. Sometimes my brain just feels really tired with that work. And then when it comes to other types of intelligence, so I don't know what you would call that, but it's like problem solving, researching, you know. And then like what you're referring to, all of those for me kind of fit into like a creative intelligence. Yeah. All of them, all those categories. Yeah. So I would say like those categories are subcategories of like creativity in general. And then I feel like there's other categories, you know. But overall, I think I go in and out of being like tired intelligently. my brain just needs a break, to challenge, to inspired. It's just constant fluctuation. Physically.
Pee.
Are you okay?
It's stuck.
Okay.
I'm good.
These are very noisy chairs.
It is noisy. Yeah, I realize
especially the microphones. Yeah. Physically, kind of similar to you. I don't know what it's called because I don't know all the names of things, but it was like probably a sumo kettlebell twist thing. Whatever. I don't know.
Oh, where it goes through the legs?
No, not that. It's where you're holding like the sumo type shape, but then you take the kettlebell with one arm and you take it across to go to the outside of one foot. And then, wait, how does it work? You pick it up, take it behind your back, and then you go the other.
But you put it down?
Yeah, well, almost. You like, but it's not where it's the figure eight.
But it goes around your body?
It goes around once, and then it goes across to the opposite leg.
Oh, wow.
I can't think of what it's called.
You did that.
But anyways, I did that with probably a heavier weight than what I normally do. So my low back feels tired. And just same, like it's early and I need to move my body.
Yeah.
But I kind of like those feelings, like when I'm a little sore.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
It's like, oh, you did something. Little sore. I don't like it when it's, you know. It's going to limit my mobility throughout the day.
Yeah. Checked in? I think my physical... I went to work out last night, and the guy, I'm trying to nickname him Ox. It's not sticking yet. I think
because he doesn't like it?
I don't think it's because he doesn't like it. I don't know. Who knows how nicknames work? I got Shaky Legs. One of the guys there is called Shaky Legs, and that one has stuck.
Okay.
And then another guy, Chef. I think that one's going to stick because he's always talking about cooking food. He's Chef.
Yeah.
But he's out of town, and he's kind of our strongest guy at the gym. And so since he's out of town, I think subconsciously I want to be the strongest person in the gym.
Oh, okay.
So I think last night I was using heavier weights in order to demonstrate to all the other men folk that were there who the silverback was when Ox is not there. This wasn't like conscious.
Yeah.
When I think back, like
you're reflecting.
There was some maybe something going on there.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Like it feels good to try really hard.
Yeah.
During the time. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes I will go easy on myself. Like take it easy. Mm-hmm. But we checked in. All right, let's go to the first one.
First one what?
The first topic. Mm-hmm. Or unless something you feel called somewhere. The first one was... The juicy one for me is like you talking about kind of spirituality not being routine in your life in a way that would nourish you. It being some way that, you discover it out there in the world somewhere in a more like, whoa, it's here, as opposed to building it into the ritual of your life so that you, kind of like if I was going to start a fire, I know I could start one. Having some of those routines and rituals in your life is kind of like, I know how I can start the spirituality fire instead of stumbling upon it like a Neanderthal trying to find fire because they didn't know how to make it, so they would just find it, right?
And that's and you lost me on the first part.
Like, you found it at the beach.
Oh,
you stumbled upon
I thought you were talking about the number one, which is like totally different.
No,
okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was trying to connect those dots, but okay.
No dots. My dot was connected to your check-in.
I got it. Okay.
It's like you stumbled upon it. Is there a desire, or is there a way in the past when you've had it built into your life in a way that you could expect it and that you could tap into that spirituality?
Yeah, but I've never been good at that. I've never been good at routines or like every morning I get up, I'm going to pray or light a candle or do incense or meditate. I've never been good at that. And I've always tried to figure out why, because I wanted that, because I thought that if I had those routines that I would have more opportunities to feel connected or to feel if we're saying like spiritual, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I don't know what that's about. And I've actually like really tried to look at it to figure it out. So I've never been that type of like routine person, and I will just kind of find it, in moments. And then as of late, I think there's some things where I know that I will feel connected or I will feel spiritual or just really in the moment is another way of like describing the way that I feel, like really in this moment. And so I will try to like make space for that, but it's not a ritual. Like every morning at this time, I'm going to do this, So like, for instance, if I can have a quiet moment with my kids, quiet in the sense of it's just me and them and we can really focus on being together. It's not quiet as in like,
sonically.
Yeah. But that's a moment when I feel like really present and connected. And there's like a sense of like joy and, so like laying on the hammock with one of my kids or, my other son likes to do random things like the other day he's like, let's do a staff lesson, and he had big massive sticks and we went outside and he was teaching me how to use the stick, which ended up with me hitting myself in the head really hard. But so those kind of moments. But yeah. Are you good at ritual?
I got ADHD, man. So, no. I mean, I can get into something for a while because of attention and like excitement about something, but once it loses that novel shine, my mind will start, no, I'm going to do this other, what else is out there? And I think that might be, ritual might be good for some people and that's fine. Let them have it. And I think I just need to find what it's like for me. Mm-hmm. What does it mean to let it... what do I do ritualistically? In my life, I've done things like I journaled for a while, but I don't still journal.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, Catherine from yoga, she had like morning page journals. Like she's got all lining the top of her room. She's been journaling forever and she still does it. I don't have that. Mm-hmm. I got them. They'll be in different drawers, you know, where I've done it for a couple months. Yeah. Is anything... I mean, I've been doing yoga for a while. I guess that's ritual. It is ritual.
Yeah.
You know, I do it on Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday. Mm-hmm. Unless something comes up. And I don't allow a lot of things to come up to supersede it. Mm-hmm. So that's... And work... And my bike rides... This like... But is that ritual or is that medicine? Mm-hmm. It's like I take the medicine that I need to. I don't know. Am I good at ritual? Not with food. I can be real crazy with food. Not with... Yeah, I don't think so. But I like to think about tapping a nourishing spirituality, kind of like I look over there and there's a fire extinguisher on the wall. And if a fire broke out, I would use it. And maybe knowing that there's a easy to utilize, always present item that could bring me that spiritual like nourishment is good enough. Mm-hmm. But if I don't use it, who knows? That thing could be empty.
Right.
Because I haven't used it in a long time. Mm-hmm. I need to check it, maybe go outside, squirt it a little bit. So there is some amount of renewing, practicing. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Ritual. I got rituals around the show.
You do? Lots.
I do. Mm-hmm. I set the incense. Some things have changed, but I like to have something happen before it starts. When the container breaks. That was our first one. Compassion fatigue. No, that wasn't our first one. The first one was... The first one you liked was... No, that was the first one. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit. When the container breaks. Compassion fatigue in the real world. What are early warning signs of compassion fatigue that you've learned to recognize in yourself?
I mean, I think you even said the word irritability. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talked about that last time.
Yeah. So noticing that my fuse is short, or I just kind of feel generally on edge. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you know, it was, do you know Rebecca Bowman? Is it Bowman, I think?
At the studio?
Mm-hmm. But she's also a therapist.
Okay.
She came in to talk to my team about EFT and did like
emotional freedom technique. That's tapping.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she did like a little session, kind of taught everybody how to do it, talked a little bit about it. And then she talked about compassion versus empathy. And I liked what she said about compassion fatigue, how really it's empathy, because we can learn how to be compassionate when we're helping those that have, experienced tremendous trauma without taking on the trauma. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of more the empathy that becomes problematic, right? Because then you're really kind of taking it on. It somehow relates to your own personal experiences where it's kind of either re-traumatizing or triggering. And that was interesting because I just had a moment recently when I was with a client and the conversation started off about, very simple things. And I'm not going to go into specific details for obvious reasons, but I can make up a similar situation because this is a fairly common thing where we're talking about something simple, like why the children won't go to school. Right. And then it turns into a conversation about this huge trauma that happened that the children witnessed. And so there's an attachment. Right. Mm-hmm. And as we were having this conversation, I was feeling very compassionate and wanted to like really utilize our time together to just let her hold space for her, let her talk, and then maybe come up with a few solutions when it comes to the reason why we started, the conversation, like the children. So I was feeling compassionate, and then there was a moment when she started to describe the horrific event that happened. Oof. And her children witnessing it. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, I started to connect it to my own personal experiences of like, oh my gosh, like...
Fear for your own family.
Well, not even that, just like what would happen if my children had to witness something like that? Yeah. I guess that is fear for your family, but more just thinking about them witnessing something similar. And then I was thinking about her children too, like, because I know her children, how awful that would be for them. And I started to get teary-eyed and, pretty emotional. And I tried to keep it in check because it wasn't about me. It's about her, right? But when I was thinking about this later, I was like, oh, I can see exactly where it flipped, exactly where it went from like I was feeling compassionate to then I was empathetic. And in that moment, it was really kind of taking over my own like internal world.
Your nervous system was impacted.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then it was for the rest of the day, and I had to really kind of sit with it and figure out, kind of what did I need to do to let go of it, because it's not my experience.
Because it could be sticky.
Very sticky. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We influence each other. Even you mentioning that, even us talking about this, I think back to a time when my daughters experienced something traumatic that I was a part of. Mm-hmm. And then I feel sadness, guilt because of my role in it, and a desire to shelter them from that, not wanting them to have that experience in their life. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's sticky. Mm-hmm. You weren't even sharing an experience. You just talked about something very generically. In my mind, this is how human minds work.
Right.
We're like, what would that be like? Where can I draw a link to my own life to that? Yeah. And then you're there. Bam, it's sticky. I'll probably think about that for a while.
Mm-hmm. But I think when we're talking about fatigue, if you're listening to these stories and hearing about these traumas
multiple times
all
a day.
Yeah.
So then there's
every day
waves, right? You've got one that's kind of fading out in volume, and then another one comes crashing down, and then you're like, oof, yeah.
Right. So that's why it can't be sticky.
It can't be sticky.
Right.
But it is sticky.
Well, I mean,
how do you take that away?
I mean, I think that there's a wide variety of things you can do to try, but yeah, I think it becomes necessary, if we're going to call it the stickiness, to limit the stickiness, right? Because if you are then thinking about, your daughter or your daughters in that experience throughout the day, then that's going to impact how you engage with the next person. And so if we're talking about, a field or a career or whatever it is where you're interacting with people that have experienced trauma all day, right? Then not just for yourself, but also for the next person. You don't want to take that stickiness.
You're not going to be able to do that maybe all day.
Well, that too.
Maybe it's like 4 hours of a day. How long can you... Because question one, is the empathy helpful for the person? Is you being in it with them to that level? Like, I think of empathy as like standing on their side, seeing the world through their eyes for that moment, through that experience of being like, what was it like to be you? How do I draw parallels from my own life, and how would I feel in that moment? Is that being with helpful for the other person versus compassion?
I think maybe, and I know there's a lot of different opinions on this, but I think for me, there are moments when it is, but they're much more rare than what I'm experiencing, if that makes sense. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how to be more present and compassionate without taking it on. Because I need that for my own life, for to be sustainable in this field, you know?
Because LCSW, you're going to be supporting people. Is that what you mean in that, as you start to have clients and stuff?
Yes. But even if it's not the LCSW
just continue
world,
in your role.
like even continue my role where I'm at. In fact, in some ways, I think that this is something that I've talked about with other therapist friends where, you know, like I was just talking to a colleague where they, you know,
Excuse me.
No, you're good. They were talking to somebody like the initial interview, and they decided that person needed to be referred out. It was kind of beyond what they felt like they could manage or beyond their scope in that moment. Right.
Yeah.
And so I can see, like, if I was doing private practice, I could kind of figure out like what felt sustainable as far as my client load, right? My caseload.
Yeah.
This is different. I don't have a choice, right? I'm getting very complex situations and clients that have experienced horrific things. And I hear these stories, right? And it's different in the sense I'm not purely clinical, right? I'm not just working on the mental health aspect.
Yeah, it's not always diagnosing. It's a lot of different things.
It's a lot of different things. It's, you know.
Let's give the audience a little bit of awareness of the context for this. And stay true to, you know, some, what's the word? Anonymity or... Yeah. You're working in what capacity?
So my official title would be the program director it's a program that supports immigrant families, specifically, or primarily, I would say, asylum seekers. And so we provide shelter and case management services. So there's case managers that are working with these families it's like a multi-dimensional approach where someone's working with them on their medical needs, someone's working with them on the child advocacy piece. So school enrollment, mental health referrals, vaccines, you know, stuff like that. Housing. So every component, you know, is kind of tended to with case management. It's like wraparound case management services. And then I'm the director of the program. But that's kind of wearing many hats, right? Because some days I'm like meeting with a family, one that I just mentioned, where we're talking about something fairly basic, you know, school attendance, but then it evolves into this really long that conversation was like an hour and a half maybe, right? Going into all kinds of traumatic events. And so there's multiple roles even in that scenario, right? Of the director, like, these are the requirements of our program. Kids need to go to school in the state of Texas. It could be truancy that can impact immigration, right? But then goes into a more clinical route of talking about the trauma. So yeah. So that's the role. That's the job.
Role where compassion fatigue would come up.
Again
and
really, like,
empathy fatigue too.
Yeah.
Like it's just nervous system fatigue.
Yeah.
And the stickiness, whatever we want to call this, the you know, the rumination or whatever, the emotional kind of impact of it over time and repeatedly. How do you navigate that?
I think I'm still figuring it out, and I'd be curious if people fully figure it out, because I feel like we change over time.
Yeah.
Our needs change over time. Other factors, you know, like this would have been different in my 20s when I didn't have children, right? So our capacity changes. And since our capacity changes, I think, you know.
Because when you leave there, you go home and then you've got all these other challenges that are also, you know, wearing or fatiguing.
Yes. But I see like shifts and changes, you know, based on, I think reflection, of course, is huge. And so as I reflect over, I've been doing this for, well, this specific role for a year, but then I was at this same organization before that. And I think last time we talked, I think I shared a moment where I took the kids swimming, and did I share this with you? And it was in the beginning of this role, and I was having a hard time with all the different, you know, experience of trauma and the stories and how to like hold space for all of that, but then go home and be with my kids. And I took my kids to a pool, and they were swimming, and there was this gentleman who was like fully dressed, like long sleeves, long pants, and it was hot, like really hot, you know, and he was just standing, staring at the pool for a while. And I thought, in my mind, I thought like, why is he wearing long sleeve shirt and pants and not getting in the pool, and he's just standing there staring, and it just seemed odd, right?
It seemed odd.
Yeah, it seemed odd. But then that triggered this whole big thing where then I started going into this direction of like, is he
a pedophile?
Yeah, or does he have a bomb? Does he have a gun? Is he like,
yeah,
what,
like,
you know?
What's he doing
like,
here?
what is he doing
You're
here?
like 2 steps from being like, if you look at social media, there's these like Karen stories. You're 2 steps from going up to him and saying like, hey,
Yeah.
what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And then it's easy for someone to videotape that, and then for him to be like, what, I can't just be here?
Right,
you being a Karen? And so there's like this 2 sides of it. One's like, well, that's odd behavior.
Yeah.
And asking someone why they're being odd, or how do you, can you help me make sense of what's going on right now in this? It's a swimming pool with kids swimming. It's a hot day. This doesn't make sense to my brain. Can you explain it to me?
Yeah.
The probability of him being like, well, actually.
Yeah. Right.
It's probably going to be a weird situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh. And then your mind, of course, is going to, without any kind of opposing information, I think you go ask him questions, probably for one, to get some clarity so your mind stops making up all those stories. And two, maybe to like encourage him to move on.
Yeah.
Unless they've got a kid there at the pool. Like,
I don't think he did. I think eventually he took off his clothes and he got in the pool, I think is what happened. But it took a long time. And I know that because, or maybe it felt like a long time, you know.
But he did get in the pool.
He did eventually, yeah.
So you could make up all these stories about bombs and guns and like pedophiles and all this stuff. And it could be like, I experienced a trauma when I was a kid. I took off my clothes and everybody laughed at me. So now I'm like working through some.
Or he just came from work and he has to wear long sleeves and pants because he's out in the sun.
There's a ton of reasonable.
You know, and yeah. But I recognized in the moment, like, wow, this is my reaction. Yeah. Like bombs and guns, pedophile. Yeah. You know, to a man staring at a pool.
Why am I making these stories?
Right. And so, I mean, I recognized it. I could feel my anxiety, my need to protect my kids. Right. You know, it's like, I don't know what this guy's doing, and maybe I should just be more aware of where my kids are. And so what I ended up doing is I just, you know, tried to take some deep breaths and say, you know, I'm okay. I know where my kids are. I can see my kids. And then eventually I think if it would have lasted much longer, I probably would have got up and moved and asked my kids to go to the other side of the pool. Right. And just continue to like watch my anxiety or whatever was surfacing, but probably right at that point is when he got into the pool.
Which you really needed him to what we say, piss or get off the pot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Crude. Yeah.
Because we are vigilant for a reason.
Right.
That stuff you're doing has a purpose in this world. Of being protective of yourself and of your family, observing your environment and saying what's off, what's odd. And then there's there's less downside to assuming risk than there is of assuming no risk. Right? If you assume risk and act, if there's no risk, you're fine. If you don't and you just walk the world oblivious to risk, you're probably going to walk right into it. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but I think the other side of that is, so what I learned from that experience is that I needed to do more, or some people say, well, you need to do less. Well, I needed to do more to kind of, release the stuff that I was taking home, to kind of process things, to also hold space for more like groundedness and ease and joy to kind of counteract all of the trauma, right? Because to be that vigilant all day, it's exhausting.
Well, you're not that vigilant all day. You're vigilant when there's this code switch. There's this thing that doesn't map to what you think normal life is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That you weren't doing. Did you always in your day find that anomaly that brought?
In that period of time, yes. Not all day, but it was happening.
I guess if you wanted to find it, you could always find it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't say all day, but in that period of time where I couldn't kind of figure out, how to hold space and manage everything, it was happening a lot.
It's a dark world.
Yeah.
From the stories that you're hearing, it's a dark world.
Yeah. And I reread that book, Trauma Stewardship. Have you heard of that book or read that book? It's really good book. But she was, and I may totally get this wrong, but I think what she was describing was a moment when she was at the Grand Canyon and with family, and I don't remember her role, but she was constantly exposed to secondary trauma, and the first thing out of her mouth, which was the first thing that came to her mind, was, I wonder how helicopters get here for emergency exits, or, how many people fall off this edge, right? Yeah. And I think maybe in the story it was her father-in-law was like, wow, that's the first thing that comes to your mind when seeing the Grand Canyon for the first time?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Right. And for me, that period of time was kind of like that, where, yes, it makes sense when there's, somebody standing for a long period of time, like overly dressed at a swimming pool, to be like, what's going on there? But there were other moments in my day where that wouldn't make sense, to be that vigilant or to be
high vigilance, because we could make something odd in any situation, probably, if we wanted to.
Right. Yeah.
I was talking to Jennifer, my girlfriend, the other day, and it was like, I think I'd had a strange interaction, and I was just like, man, humans gonna human. We sometimes believe, oh, everybody's good and everybody's happy and everybody's doing the best they can, but man, there's so many examples of how humans are effed up, man, doing effed up stuff. And I don't know. I do want to see the bright side of life, but I also want to step back and say, no, this is a weird environment where people do weird stuff all the time. And that's a part of this, whatever this is we're doing, is humans. I just say humans gonna human. Like, they're gonna hurt people. They're gonna steal. They're gonna, take advantage of things so that we can't ever have nice things, right? Because of some, You know, they're going to leave their trash at a park. Human's going to human. Mm-hmm. And I still need to look at the beauty of life and say life is beautiful. Mm-hmm. But also, I think I'm linking that to what you're saying because you're exposed so often to the worst in human behavior. Mm-hmm. Narratives of it, mm-hmm. subjective experience of it. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's also roses that are blooming or, mm-hmm. excuse me, mm-hmm. I don't know.
I think I've heard others talk about this and I've read a little bit about this, about, you know, how when we don't accept the suffering and the evilness and the bad things in the world, and we finally do, or at least like start to recognize it, it becomes overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, there's, well, I was going to go down another tangent, but let me stay on topic. So I think that was kind of what was happening for me in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
But there's all different directions, ways we can manage it or approach it, right? And what I wanted to do was not become burnout, jaded,
right.
bitter,
right.
detached, but also not be ignorant, right? And so for me, it seemed like, well, then the only way to move forward is to figure out how to hold space or recognize this evil, this darkness, the suffering. But my work was then to be more open, or to really try to recognize, like really feel those moments of like happiness or joy.
Yeah.
You know? And it started to happen where it's like a small moment that would often just kind of go unnoticed for me. Like the moment I mentioned earlier of like laying in a hammock with my son. Mm-hmm. I would just be talking to him and then we'd move on. Right. But now, because I have more of awareness of the darkness of the world, it makes me really enjoy those moments where this is a pure moment of love and connection. And I think that's what's needed for everyone, but also, you know, if you're managing and holding space for trauma all the time, it's like you have to find the little moments. And I think that goes back to the ritual conversation, and that, you know, some of us are really good at the ritual, and so we can incorporate that at
right.
8 a.m. on a Monday. Right. And then for me, even though I'm still trying, I've also kind of recognized I'm not good at that. And so I have to, so my success, my strength is in the moments where I'm walking in my car and a breeze comes by and I notice the temperature on my skin.
Yeah.
And I stop in that moment. You know, instead of just continuing to walk to my car, I stop and I feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And so it's not like a specific ritual, but it's something that I know works for me, like those little moments. And so I really try to make an effort to recognize, to incorporate, to pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got these spaces, as you were talking about in your role, there's these waves, those are my words, of traumatic kind of awareness, or becoming aware of different things that happen. And it's difficult to hold space. You're holding space for trauma a lot. Where the heck in America are we just holding space for the opposite a lot? Well, I guess you don't do that anywhere. No one's like, hey, I really need you to help me hold space for this wonderful thing that happened to me. Maybe that's what we do in our personal relationships when we share the good things that are happening to each other. Mm-hmm. We don't have to do that in a designated place. Because I thought that'd be a cool role.
I mean, I think we do that in a different way. So that's why I love teaching yoga. Would you be fatigued
in the same way, though? Do you think you'd be fatigued in the same way of like, I've had too much positivity. I really need to find some darkness, like whenever I stub my toe or whenever I like burn my hand when I pick up a pot. I need to like feel into the pain of that so I can balance out all this positive shit I'm exposed to all the time.
Well, I think that all of it is naturally there, the positive and the negative.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, what are you willing to look at, or what has been modeled to you as well, you know? So some of us, maybe, like I grew up in a household where you didn't really talk about the negative. Everything was kind of swept under the rug.
Yeah.
Right? And so that was a lesson for me of like, how do I really look at this?
Yeah.
Right? And then maybe for others, it's different. It's, you know, they grow up in an environment where everything negative is talked about, and, you know, and so then they have to, So I think it's all, what am I saying?
What are you saying?
I don't know.
It's different for everybody, and we kind of have to grow out of the knots of our childhood or whatever. You're saying some people were conditioned this certain way to talk about negativity all the time, so they're like more primed towards it. Oh, this traffic stinks, and oh, F you for cutting me off, and oh man, I gotta wait here 10 minutes to see my doctor, and just like this default mode network of negativity of like speaking to it, and the other one's like, oh, it's fine, I'm just gonna keep it all bottled up and not talk about it. I think you're talking about the middle way. Some way of...
But I do get tired of constant positivity.
You do?
Yeah. Nowadays, I do. Yeah. Like, because, you know...
You got impassioned there. I do get tired of constant positivity. Where do you see that in your life?
At the yoga studio.
Really?
I mean, not... I think I try...
Look out there, y'all. Mary's coming for you. Don't be coming in there happy all the time.
I mean, I try to create a space where everybody can come in with whatever they're coming in with, whether, you know, they've had a hard day or they, you know, but I think in general, yoga spaces can be those spaces where it's all love and light, you know, and you say, how are you? And they say, good. Right.
Well, and there's not time and space to really delve into that question.
Well,
we got to start that yoga.
Sometimes there is.
Maybe if they hang afterwards or come a little bit early, which I have done.
Yeah.
You can actually answer that question. That's a tough question when you got yoga starting in a couple minutes.
Right.
How you doing? I'm here at yoga. Gonna move my body. And the love and light. Well, you got sample bias there. You got the people that come to yoga. There's a sample bias, selection bias, right? What kind of people are going to go to yoga? You know, they're probably going to have most of their needs met if they're coming to yoga.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know? Yeah. And then be at a certain place in their life where they're choosing healthy, positive behaviors and exercises. So they're, you know.
Yeah.
People in the trenches aren't going to yoga. They should. They would benefit from it.
But there's a hierarchy of needs.
I'm going to digress for 1 second. I think about this, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and how it's real easy for, I know I'm white. I know I'm privileged. I know that I can eat every day and I'm good, but I still think there's some white wealth privilege that is enlightenment. Enlightenment is real easy for all these people that have privilege, that have all these things to be like, I'm enlightened, I'm transcending. And see that or share that as you just need to do your work. you just need to do your work to find this. You need to be here now, and you need to do all
right.
this stuff. Oh, just do that. And then I map that to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and it's like, hey, you do that when you've got all these other needs met.
Right.
You know, shelter, food, water, clothing, and then the next layer of like blah, blah, blah. And all of that takes money.
Right.
All of those take money.
Right.
A little bit of free time for the mom who's working 3 jobs and then taking care of kids. Like, to ask them to just find enlightenment is really insulting.
Right.
I don't know where I'm going there, but I guess it's just...
But you went hard.
I went hard there. I guess I get a little bit perturbed with thought leaders in this area sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I think that goes back to my what I mentioned about like yoga spaces, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's a
infinite positivity. It's easy to be infinitely positive when you're 5 layers up on Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Right.
When you have the luxury of being in transcend phase. Must be nice up there, you know. Well, then maybe that's what you need to balance out your other side of your life.
I mean, I feel like I've done that because like our studio.
Yeah. Studio side, yeah.
But no, I feel like that it is a space where people can share like a wide range of experiences, and it's not a forced love and light positive space.
Yeah.
You know. But I was more speaking like to the yoga world kind of in general, yoga studios and yeah.
Ooh, the second question on here is there a yogic framework for understanding depletion and replenishment that holds up under real-world clinical pressure? Yogic framework for understanding depletion and replenishment that holds up to real-world clinical pressure.
A yoga framework that... Say it again?
Is there a yogic framework for understanding depletion and replenishment?
Oh. I mean, I think a lot of the 8 limbs would kind of tend to that, right?
Yeah.
Because you have like...
Tapas, is tapas replenishment?
No. Tapas is like heat, like austerity.
I thought it was like energy, but yeah. It's heat. It's building
like
up heat in the body.
It's like austere practices that...
So that's not it.
That build heat. No, but I think, you know, like cleanliness, it's not just like this physical cleanliness, like cleanliness of thoughts and actions.
Yeah. That's one of the yamas or the niyamas.
And then wait, there's another one that like directly, aparigraha.
Aparigraha.
So non-grasping.
Non-grasping, yeah.
Non-attachment.
This says, what do the concepts of brahmacharya, energy conservation, or pratyahara, withdrawing the senses, look like in a social work context?
Yeah, I think you also mentioned the koshas earlier, right? And so, for instance, there's a meditation or a practice we do, which is kind of like moving through the koshas. So you start with the physical body.
What are koshas? I don't know the koshas.
Kosha sometimes is translated as like sheath or layer. And so it's the layers that make up our whole being. So the outermost layer is the physical body.
Gross body. That's what it's called.
Yeah, and then it moves from gross to subtle, or from external to more internal.
Yeah.
Right. And so it would be like moving your awareness from the physical sensations of the body itself, then moving your awareness to its pranamaya kosha. So prana is sometimes translated as breath or energy, the energetic field, energetic body. So then you would move your awareness to that. Right. And I often think of like that layer as being both gross and subtle. So the physical is like you can feel the breath, the lungs expanding
Yeah.
and, oxygen, as if almost like you could feel it kind of oxygenating
Your
every
blood,
cell, your
yeah.
blood. And then as you breathe out, you can feel the physicality of that. But then there's an energetic quality, right, that you could also experience, almost like activation, nourishment with the inhale, and then kind of release or calming, more grounding quality of the exhale. So you move your awareness to that. And then you just kind of keep going through the layers. And so mana maya kosha, manas is the mind. So kind of witnessing the fluctuations, the thoughts coming and going of the mind.
The mind.
Right. But the idea, like if you're using this as kind of like a process, as a meditation, is that just by feeling the body, then moving to the breath and kind of witnessing the mind, you're naturally kind of moving your awareness more inward and deeper, right? Which we could then say, once you have kind of fully kind of moved your awareness in, so you're no longer kind of focusing on the physical body or the external, that's pratyahara, and that's withdrawing of the senses, right? So that you're no longer kind of processing everything through your senses, like every sound, every sight, and so you're withdrawing the senses.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's really helpful in whatever language, framework, whatever we give it, because you're taking moments where you're kind of detaching from everything that is happening around you, everything you're processing through your senses, everything that you're managing, right? And you're just kind of moving your awareness within, which can feel like a point of connection. It can feel more grounding. And so then the idea is that you start to feel that sense of kind of connection and that centeredness. And then you start to kind of open back up to, it's like you have a permeable force field, right? And then at one point you're like, nothing's getting in, right? I'm taking this moment. And then you can start to kind of allow things to come in to your space, right?
Realizing, remembering that it's a choice. Maybe.
Yeah, because that can then determine like what you are going to let in and let affect you, impact you.
Man, turning away from the senses. I'm just going to list the senses now.
Okay.
We got
I need to know.
touch, smell. We'll have everybody. Touch, smell, sight, touch, and
You already said that.
hearing. What did I do? Touch, smell, sight, hearing,
Taste.
taste. And then in yoga or in Buddhism, there's some mental activity that is other senses. There's, I think, 2 extra ones that are like this mental activity. Turning away from all of those, turning away from mental activity, what the heck are you doing then? I guess you're just in stillness. Connected to self. I quickly get to, I'm doing philosophy on Sunday, so I'm gonna try not to go there today.
Yeah.
But what are we if not making sense of the world through all of that activity? What are we when we're not doing all of that? We're nothing.
Or everything.
So that gets to some universal oneness.
Or, yeah.
Which I love to play that game. I love to think of that universal oneness. I like it. Even this, we talked about earlier about when you talk about a story about trauma, I think about trauma, and you're talking about the story of the Koshas, and I'm thinking about that. And I notice a more grounding stillness in myself as we talk about it, and maybe a more sacredness inside of me of like.
See, I don't have I used to enjoy and maybe had a philosophical mind, but I don't feel like I enjoy or have that now. And so when we, start talking about like, nothingness or everything. And that's like, of course, elementary in the philosophical world, right? But for me, what's more important is what it feels like. Because, like you, I think you said, did you say like you have no idea what happens when you die, or you don't have like
I don't know.
Yeah. So I've gone back and forth as to like, oh, this is what happens. This is what happens. This is what happens throughout my life.
Yeah.
Right.
Play of mind.
Yeah. And my son asked me the other day, he's like, well, Mom, what do you believe? Like, what do you think happens? And I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. And
yeah.
and as far as like everything or nothing or no matter what, like that's trying to define something and kind of put it in a box
that cannot be defined.
Yeah. And for some people that works, right? And that's great. And it worked for me at different points in time, but now it just makes my brain hurt. Honestly.
Well, I think at some point you realize it's a choice you're making to decide what happens, as opposed to you've gotten some information that has you, okay, this is what it is because of this information. It's more like...
but some will say that they got that information, right?
Where'd they get it?
They received that information.
Where?
From a wide variety of sources, right? Some will say their grandmother, some say God.
Influence from different things.
But I think
I'm with you.
I'm fine with all the things. For me personally, myself, I don't know, but there's a feeling, a felt sense.
I just don't want to do any of the hell stuff. All the stuff in there I think is weird that we're saying these things happen down there. I don't want to do any of that. There's a lot of butt stuff going on down there with like fire pokers, and I'm like, who came up with this? Let's talk to them. Like, we need to help them.
That is really funny. Do you know somebody that wants to do the hell stuff?
I don't know.
Okay, that's curious.
There's all kinds of people out there.
True.
But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. And it's helpful to be with uncertainty here in the living realm because everything is uncertainty. So why not just play that out till the end and let it be uncertain what happens after this? But your kiddos probably want to feel safe or to feel... Yeah. They want comfort.
Right.
I mean, that's why I'm going to say this is an absolute statement, but that's why we make up stories of the afterlife in order to feel more comfortable about death.
Yeah.
The mortality.
Well, what I don't know is if... I'm going to move my leg in the microphone.
It's fine.
Do you know of anybody who's met death with uncertainty? Like, I have no idea what happens while not feeling fear.
Fear. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stories of people like at death's door being like, "Get me a priest."
Right.
But I think they're just making a bet. Right? They're just like,
so?
What can it hurt? Right? Bring me all of them. Get me a priest, all the people. Bring me a Buddha. Bring me let's have a congregation there of all of them. Be like, are we good here? Are we good? Let me go to your heavens.
Plural.
Wherever. Or turn me into what animal's cool. On this, what is it? The cycle of samsara. If that's one thing. That's one belief structure.
Yeah.
How'd we get here? Goodness.
I'm not sure.
We got here, y'all.
I can't even remember what we were originally talking about.
Holding space for difficult conversations and empathizing with folks, and how that depletes you, and how you balance that out, how you notice. It's compassion fatigue. But these conversations, they're going to flow. Joy is a practice too, and I'm not very good at it was our second concept.
Were you saying that I'm not good at it or you're not good at it?
That's just what it says.
Or none of us are good at it?
Yeah. That's just what it says at the top. Joy is a practice too, and I'm not very good at it. I think that's like a question I'm asking everybody, and you and me. Go ahead. I've had people in here, and I used to do improv games. We did them. I don't do them anymore.
Yeah, I hated it.
Bingo. Bingo. Joy is a practice too, and I'm not very good at it.
No. But you don't get to define what joy is for me.
I was giving you practices that lead us to joy.
And that is your personal preference and opinion. I don't...
No.
Yes, improv does not bring me joy.
Goofing off brings you joy. Realizing silliness and playfulness and like...
Okay, sure.
And I had tricks and tools to get us to that goofy silliness.
That's not how I recall it. I don't recall those practices leading us in that direction.
I will say at bringing up this conversation, I oftentimes feel a lot of fun and play in your classes when I go to them. Mm-hmm. Fun and play.
But that's not improv.
Really? You plan all that out?
Oh, wait. But why? I don't think I fully understand improv.
Well, I think the reason it doesn't work here is because I'm inviting games to get to there, and you're improvising in the current moment in playful ways.
But that's kind of planned because you're like, this is the thing that we're gonna do.
Right.
It kind of forces it.
Well, it doesn't force that. It just happens naturally when you release yourself. I don't like force.
Okay.
Like when you give in, or that's also not a good word, huh?
We can move on.
When you release, or when you soften to silliness and playfulness, oftentimes people don't want to be seen in that way. There have been men that have sat there. Father Bill Wigmore sat there, and he was like, I didn't like that. Mm-hmm. He did it. We played. He went there. But for him, it was a growth edge. It was something that was challenging for him. Yeah. Next time he came back, he said, I don't really want to do that. But my grandkids loved it. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, why? Why did your grandkids love it?
Yeah.
Because they loved seeing me in that playful way.
Oh,
I don't know. I think, why are we not good at joy? You're good at joy. It's always fun and play in yoga. There's always laughter. And silliness. Or maybe is that just me?
No, I mean, I don't want to. I do think I'm good at joy. There's other things I'm not good at, but I do think I'm good at joy. You're good at joy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It says, in the work that you do, trauma, displacement, grief, dysregulation, joy can start to feel either inaccessible or suspicious. Explore the deliberate practice of joy. But you don't really have a deliberate practice. It's just natural.
Well, I think sometimes we can be deliberate. Like I mentioned, not being able to do routine, but in a moment where it could typically be just like kind of a mundane everyday moment, having intention to like really be present and relish the moment. And that opens up to joy, right?
You share normal mundane things in a funny, silly way, though. Even like your feet being dirty in yoga class will be like, now this is like the way you share it's this funny way. Mm-hmm. Finding some silliness in the mundane. Mm-hmm. Or like saying something wrong, like giving some instruction in a weird way or something. You'll reflect on that outwardly in a way that's like invites some laughter. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably why people like your class, because it's disarming and it's fun.
Because I'm making fun of myself the whole time. Just kidding.
Well, I think in you making fun of yourself, you're modeling for us an easygoing way about the things that we experience. So you are good at joy.
I think so. I mean, everybody, I think, could work a little hard. Well, I don't know. I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
Yeah.
But I do know this. Well, I don't know it. I don't want to know anything, but I'm going to say that anyway. I do know this. To be an adult is to be a little bit more serious.
Yes.
And to be more serious is to be less playful.
Yes.
And the only time we can be playful is when we're playing with kids. Mm-hmm. We can't just be playful, like just goof off. You find joy in a pleasant breeze, or you find joy in these everyday, moments with your kiddo on the hammock, or you find joy in those spontaneous situations.
Mm-hmm. I do think that the work that I've been doing has made it necessary, which is good, because I've learned how to do it more than I ever did before. Do you know what I mean?
You've learned how to stop when the sacred is there with you.
Or even just stop to open up to it.
Acknowledge it, or
Like on the way here, I had 15 extra minutes. And so I thought, I'm going to pull over and put on a podcast that I really enjoy and listen to the sound of the rain and enjoy this moment. And I just had 15 extra minutes.
Which podcast is it?
No, not a podcast. Sorry. It's an audiobook.
Which audiobook you listening to?
It's one that Holly suggested. You're going to have to ask her. I can't remember the name of it.
You don't know it?
No.
I have to go get your phone, huh?
Yep.
This is probably about activism or something.
It is. Yeah. How'd you know?
Yeah.
But it's like activism and then what would interest me. It's like Mary and Holly connected, combined.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, you had 15 minutes. You
Yeah.
pulled over. You listened to the rain.
Yeah.
You listened to this book, and that was joy.
Yeah. And it was like outside of that quiet and the cool air, and it was
you chose
just lovely. And I chose it. Yeah. But I've never been great at that. Like when joy happens naturally in a moment, like you mentioned a moment in class when we're all laughing together, that's obviously, felt, and I enjoy that and I can feel the joy, right? But I've never been good at like taking time to make more space for it until more recently. And I think the work that I'm doing now kind of made it necessary,
Yeah.
And that's what I realized, like back, when it was overwhelming and everything that I was kind of witnessing and hearing throughout the day would then impact my life outside of it, like the swimming pool or whatever it may be,
So that's one way you do it. You pull over, you listen to the rain, you put on a audio book. What's other ways what are your other recipes for joy?
I mean, little things that are just like this, like, like the other day I stepped outside of the studio and it was kind of generally humid, and hot. Surprisingly.
You're making a face.
Well, because
that is the face of humidity right there.
It was like,
Yeah.
But then a breeze came by, and
You can't recipe a breeze, though.
No. But those little moments, like the way the light comes into a room,
But
a smile.
How do you manufacture them?
Oh.
So yeah, sure, great.
Yeah.
Being able to tune into that when it happens, great.
Yeah.
But how do you make that? How do you make that marinara when you needed the spaghetti?
What?
A recipe.
Okay.
How do you manufacture the joy when you need it?
Well, I think so. I was thinking about this the other day when I experienced something that would normally be kind of annoying, but I had a different experience with it. And I was like, how did I get here? Like, how am I able to turn these moments that are typically annoying into something that was actually kind of enjoyable, right? And I was thinking back to like what we do in meditation and how we are really trying to sense, depending on the meditation, of course, but there's certain meditations where you're sensing into your body and you're looking for places that feel grounded or places that feel kind of relaxed. And you really sense into that to kind of feel it, to experience it, to acknowledge it, right? And I think that we can kind of train ourselves to be more present. And so you don't necessarily have to manufacture the moments of joy. You can be more present when they're happening. So that's one way, right?
Non-answer.
Okay. Another way is you figure out the things that bring you joy and then you try to schedule it, you know?
What things bring you joy?
Well,
you can't schedule that hammock with the kiddo.
That is true.
Coffee in the morning. Any joy related to your kids doing something?
Yeah.
Those are magic moments, right?
Yeah.
But coffee?
Coffee in the morning. I love the ritual, the smell. That's one ritual. I drink coffee every morning.
And that brings you joy.
Yes. I love it. Yes.
People love, in America, maybe in other places, people like have a whole, that's their Zendo.
Yeah.
That's their thing. Yeah. They've got the little thing with the thing and pour it over the thing and tap it down and then they're putting serious effort and ritual into that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think I think everyone has to figure out what brings them joy or what brings them contentment or
what else other than coffee?
For me personally?
Yeah.
Conversations with, she's one of my oldest friends. And
Homegirl?
So her name is Jilly. Mm-hmm.
Jilly. Shout out to Jilly.
Jilly in St. Clair in Nashville.
Phone? Oh, so it's phone or video?
Phone. So always phone.
It's funny. As we did this, I got a phone call from one of my best friends.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to call him when we get done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely something that brings me joy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A phone call with a friend.
Mm-hmm. Painting.
Painting.
I love painting. Baths. I used to hate sitting in a bath. I was like, why does anybody do this? You have to like sit here and you're not doing anything.
Sounds great.
Right?
Get some Epsom salt in there. I like a bath. Back in the day, you'd have to go in the Old West. I don't know, any Old West historians out there, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I've got this vision of people going to the
bathhouse.
Either the dentist or the barber would just have a bath water that would sit there all day that you'd pay a nickel to get in.
Really?
I don't know, but I've got this in my brain that's how it happened. They would just have.
They would go to the dentist, but then take a bath all day,
or the barber shop, or some place where they would just have a tub of water that people could pay a nickel to get in and bathe.
I think you might be combining different things here.
I'm gonna look into this.
Yeah, I really want to know.
Well, they didn't have bathtubs back in the day.
Your tooth pull includes a day-long bath.
Well, not a whole day. No, all day. You wouldn't want to. You'd have prune hands.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But you're loving baths now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Man.
And I will set it up, with like a candle.
Ooh, yeah.
And, yeah.
Some incense.
Some sounds.
Some like sounds of what? Yeah. Birds and stuff, or like music?
No, like ethereal type sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like.
I can't think of like how to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that. Oh my gosh, that song. Is that India? I knew that song right away.
Oh, that's why. Do, 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 do. The deep forest.
Yeah, not that. Far from it.
That's funny. Mm-hmm. I dig a lot of your music that you play. You play Sigur Rós in there, don't you?
Yes.
I know. I know that music, and then I think I know that music, and I'm gonna mention it, but I never do. You also play You play Sigur, you play Broken Social Scene's first album, right? Feeling Good Lost.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite albums. Because it was their first ambient album they did. That's good music. That's good music. All right, that's a recipe. You got some recipes. What does the yoga concept of ananda or bliss actually mean? And how does it differ from happiness or pleasure? Do you have any ideas on this? Ananda? I kind of want to look up this whole Old West bathtub thing real quick. But I'm not going to.
No, don't do it.
I think I'm right. I think they'd pay like a nickel and they would just get into it. And maybe if they paid a dime, they could get some fresh hot water buckets. You know? A fresh hot water bucket?
I mean, for that time.
In that dirty water? I don't know. Okay, skip that one.
I think, are you talking about a specific...
What is Ananda? What does it mean? Do you know?
Like bliss.
It just means bliss?
Happiness.
Blissed out?
Like when we say Ananda Balasana, it's like happy baby.
Oh, happy baby pose.
But then, yeah, bliss.
Blissed out baby. When do I feel bliss? Sometimes, Jennifer had this the other day where she was uncontrollably laughing. Where it was almost like it hurt her belly.
Yes, yeah.
And it felt like a delirium. You know what I mean? Like she didn't know when it was going to end. And anything you say when they're in that state is like going to be funny.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that bliss?
I don't know.
It's a fun place to be when you find it, but I think you can't manufacture it. I don't remember the last time I had that.
Yeah.
But I love it. Whenever you stumble upon that, that's like, wow.
Yeah.
Like when you think you might die because you can't get breath.
Right.
From laughter.
Yeah.
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 Is that bliss?
I don't know.
I don't know either. We don't have to define these things.
Yeah.
Except for the old Western
You
bath
can
thing.
save that for your philosophical discussion. That's a good one to analyze.
That's once we analyze it, then we'll know it, huh?
Maybe.
We don't actually.
No.
The deal with philosophy is all these questions, no answers.
Right.
No answers.
Right.
Why do I even do it anymore? I just like hanging with Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
He is good.
No answers. Come on, man.
Right.
Can I get an answer?
Yeah.
Can consciousness be explained? Here, let me just speed to the end of this discussion. No, it can't. Does reality...
But we'll go like this.
Yeah. Does reality have a ground? Hey, heads up. I have no idea, and nobody else does either. I don't know. Philosophy. We did that. Oh, we did some of these without even knowing. Is there something in the Ashtanga tradition? I like saying Ashtanga. Is that how you say it? How do you say it?
Close enough.
Ashtanga. You're not going to say it now. Ashtanga. I also like saying salsa. Salsa.
Like the dance?
Well, it is a dance, but it's also a food.
Oh, okay.
You don't say salsa?
Not like that.
How do you say it?
I don't know, but...
Say it.
Do it again.
Salsa.
There's something happening with your tongue.
You have to have fun with it.
I think I just say salsa.
Come on.
Salsa.
No, salsa. Salsa. Okay, whatever. Ashtanga. I like tanga. I like doing that.
That's
part.
not really how you say it, though.
How do you really
It's like
say
you
it?
don't say salsa.
You say salsa.
No salsa.
Salsa. You're sticking your tongue out.
Because you are too.
Was I really?
Yes.
Salsa. Oh, I guess I did. Salsa.
Keep it in your mouth.
Salsa. It's
Not that hard.
Salsa's
Salsa.
a world where
Salsa. No tongue.
Let me see.
Salsa.
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 Still no tongue.
Yeah, but no fun either. No tongue, no fun. Salsa. Let it out. Let it happen. Is there something in the Ashtanga tradition about joy that you teach differently now than you did 5 years ago? How does Ashtanga, how does joy play into Ashtanga? The limbs.
That's tricky. Because you're talking about, well, I mean, maybe someone would say that's in the state of samadhi.
Samadhi? Mm-hmm. That's the absorption of all things?
Mm-hmm. Or, yeah.
Or where
You're absorbed, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But some would say, I mean, the thing is you can take the Yoga Sutras and you can get, commentary that's from one not political, philosophical,
one thought leader. Yeah.
And then from a different thought leader, and they're going to define samadhi in different ways.
Yeah.
So I think that's a tricky one. I think that's another one you say for your philosophical.
Well, we're going to do our last one because we got about 20 minutes. We're in the
Okay.
we're in the home stretch. So we're going to do our last concept, which was Phil Phails at stillness, an honest check-in. We did a check-in in the beginning, but this will be a more conversational one. Where are we now? A genuine check-in between two people who have been on parallel journeys since they last spoke. Rather than a theme-first format, this one follows the natural thread of two honest people catching each other up on what's changed, what's broken, what's grown, and what's still unfinished. Yep. Yeah, what shifted in you since we last talked? Or what stayed stubbornly the same?
That's hard because I don't even remember where I was when we last talked.
I've been coming to the studio for... How long have I been coming to the studio?
A while.
A year?
Is it? Yeah.
Maybe. I want to get a doctor to come and talk to us about how yoga changes your body. I just don't know how I'd find one that could tell us. Like, how does it physically change your body? Like, whether it's your muscles or your tendons or your bones, like, what physically changes? Kind of like they did with the meditators. They brought them over, they put them in the MRI, and they like get in a meditation state. They could see what changed.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a digression.
Yeah.
Since it's been, we're still studying, right? Let's just call it a year ago.
Okay. Oh. A lot has changed.
Yeah, what's changed?
I mean, we've already talked about some of it because that was even less than a year ago, right? When I was really struggling. Really struggling as far as my work and not bringing it home. And I think that, what else has changed? I think as time goes on, I think, well, you might have to censor this out, but the phrase that came to mind is I give less fucks.
We can say that.
Yeah. Of course, not about like people and the work that I do or any of that, but all the things that used to maybe kind of govern how I moved through my day and interacted with people, I give less fucks, And that's been, I'm not sure what has shifted that. Is it hormones? Is it growing older? Is it being a mother? Because being a mother definitely changes everything.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But within the last year, I've kind of stepped into a place where it feels good.
To give less fucks.
Yes. Yeah.
In this portion of our talk, we're going to say the F word over and over, y'all. If you've got kids or whatever, they'll probably say the F word too. These kids these days, they say it. Yeah.
Yep.
So giving less Fs. Less fucks.
What about you?
Man, what has changed? What has changed? I'm older, but that's such a small amount of time. I think that's probably true for me, but that's an easy answer. I should come up with my own answer. What has changed in the year since we've talked? I think with my daughter, I've relaxed. And that's a version of giving less Fs. With my daughter who's experiencing some challenges and has, which brings me to a discussion we could have around what's it like to parent neurodivergent kids, which you do, and I do, and I'm also neurodivergent. But there's just been this like, it's not going to be ideal.
No.
And I need to love what it is and not the idea of it.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
And I think I've just shed things to get there. Like my daughter's now in Utah at a facility. And I would have never thought I'd let that happen for too long, but she's been there for a long time. And I got to a place where I was like, I guess she needs that. Yeah. I think that's changed. Oh, yeah. I'm like almost empty nested, dude. So I've been with the sadness of that. My 17-year-old is pretty much, she's got her own car now, so she's choosing not to come here a lot. And I'm not making any requirements on her. I'm basically trying to tell her, hey, you're old enough now to decide where you are, when you are. And she's choosing to be at her mom's a lot more. And so I don't see her. And I've moved through the sadness of that. And I guess I'm not sad about it unless I think about it. Now I think about it, there's some sadness present, but that's something that's changed. I've got more time to myself. So I do exercise and bike and the show and all these things. That's changed. I don't know. I've had a girlfriend for a year.
Yay.
More than a year now, Jennifer. And we went on a road trip for like 7 days.
Wow.
And it went really well.
That's
which is
great.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
That is a thing.
And so then I gave her codes to the doors. So she can punch in codes and get in.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, oh, well, this is the time.
This is the time.
Yeah. So there's some amount of companionship that I'm experiencing that I haven't in a long time.
Yeah.
That feels really good.
That's great.
It's supportive. It's, and I jokingly tell my friends, so I'll tell you, she works at a school district helping special needs kids do testing to find accommodations.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the perfect partner for me.
She's constantly testing you to give you accommodations. Yeah. That's funny.
So yeah, those are things that have changed for me, I think. I'm getting older. We're getting older. At some point we'll be like, we're not the youth anymore. There's some amount of like, how do I give back? Which this is kind of a little bit, but how do I reorient in the world? I need a role model. Right? Is there a moment in the past year where your practice failed you? Where yoga or clinical training or social work wisdom didn't give you what you needed?
Oh, many. Yes. But I think, I don't know. I kind of enjoy being in environments where it's required that I have to go beyond my limits to learn more, to do better, you know? And in the beginning, I think that was overwhelming and kind of deflating. Like I'm in over my head. I shouldn't be doing this, you know? And then
You're good. Keep talking.
And then I think at a certain point I realized that there's always going to be moments when I feel that way. And so that's when I think you ask for help in whatever way you can get it, you know? So for me, I was like, I need a clinical supervisor that has direct and related experience to what I'm doing, because...
Did you find one?
I did.
You have one? Okay.
Yeah. Or, you know, we were talking about your group earlier. You know, it's finding the right group that fits your needs when you feel like you've been failed by whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I've felt that way many times. And sometimes it was kind of debilitating, and I was like, okay, well, how do I make this less debilitating? What do I need, right?
Yeah.
And then trying to fill that need.
Well, at a certain point, you've got yoga, social work, therapeutic, all these things. And at a certain point, I imagine in your life, meeting people with the intent to heal and to help, you're bringing all those things to bear, plus just experience in a way that's not as, oh, I'm pulling from my social work toolkit. I'm pulling from my yoga toolkit. You're just like, I'm pulling from my life, the soup of my life. But even that fails you sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm reading that. I'm rereading Marshall Rosenberg's Nonviolent Communication. And I love it. I love that framework. But then I just think, ugh, it doesn't work because, well, maybe because I'm not executing it properly, but because the world doesn't recognize that.
Yeah.
It's like it almost requires some openness from the others.
Yeah.
To really lean into it.
But I think that goes back to giving less Fs.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you did the best that you could, you're doing all the nonviolent communication, and you're doing all the self-reflection, and you're doing the best you could with whatever the situation was, and the world's not open to it, then it's like, Yeah.
Yeah. What's that let them theory? Have you read that?
No.
Let them. People have been talking to me about this book, Let Them. And it's basically accepting what is. That's just, you know, loving what is. Let them. If you're not going to accept my nonviolent communication, then accept this violence.
Yeah. Fist in your face. That's what you just did.
Yeah, fist in I don't want to do that, though.
No, I know you don't.
Fisting people in the face. But I did have a moment. I wonder if you shared your register moment. We could share moments. I was driving down the street, street, small street. It's not a major thoroughfare.
Yeah.
And and there was a truck, big truck, driving down the middle of the street. And I'm like trying to hug one side. And as we get closer, I think this truck's going to hug the other side and we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
Oh, wow.
And it gets to this chicken moment where it's like, what the heck is going on? Like, yeah, those did go out. And he did finally at the last minute pull over to the side, and we passed each other really closely.
Yeah.
And he said some things. And some of them had expletives. And I was like, I rolled down my window. He had his window down. And I said, you good? And then he said some other things with expletives. And I was like, well, what up, then? And then he's like slowly pulled away, and I was like, where are you going? Don't you want to talk about this some more? And what I realized was I'm like escalating with this guy.
Yes.
I'm like, dude,
yeah.
what the heck are you doing on the road? And then you're going to cuss at me about it?
Right.
Driving down the middle of the road with your big old truck, your super heavy duty truck.
Yeah.
I'm in my little freaking Prius.
Mm-hmm.
I might have a Prius, but I'm not. Let's go. Like, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
And then he slowly pulled off, and I'm still like, hey, I'm still here. Where you at? You know?
Uh-huh.
Where the heck does that come? Where's all my namaste or my, all my practices in a world where the world comes up to me and says, hey, fuck you, buddy. And I'm like, oh, fuck me?
Yeah.
No, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm 48, man.
Yeah.
I don't need that smoke.
Yeah.
If he would have got out the car, I've got zero martial artistry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a martial artist, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the heck is going on?
Yeah. And what is going on?
That's what I'm asking myself now. This happened like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
What the heck? Mm-hmm. Why couldn't I just say I'm sorry?
Well,
or
yeah, I mean, that's not true.
Well, de-escalate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What? Well, part of me wants a little warrior vibe, I guess, or a little.
Well, maybe you want a place for your anger.
A place for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to put it on that strange guy who's already angry.
Right.
Like, you don't walk the earth that way unless there's some anger already there.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Do I need a place for my anger?
I don't know. Maybe.
Do you need a place for your anger?
I do.
Where do you put it?
In a punching bag. Or...
Really?
Yeah.
But what about what fires together, wires together?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think that it's all about time and, I mean, there's context, you know?
Right.
So I think sometimes it's like I need a discharge and I want to physically kind of release, you know? And so the punching bag feels really good.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you're just like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
The world's bad and evil and you're just beating the crud out of it.
Mm-hmm. I think if that's something that I did on a regular, I have no idea.
What other ways do you get anger out?
Anger out? I mean, what I try to do is diffuse it consistently, you know? And so I think that goes kind of back to you know, our conversations about like being really self-aware, right? And noticing, oh, I'm feeling frustrated by this conversation, right? And so I'll say that, you know, like with my kids when they're arguing nonstop and they're not listening and they're interrupting, then I'll say, I'm feeling really frustrated in this moment. I'm going to take a break. Right. And that diffuses it.
Right.
Whereas if I didn't say that and I didn't take a break, then it would build and then I would feel really angry. So I think a lot of times, like, that's what I do with my anger. I feel it and I try to diffuse it.
Diffuse it, yeah.
And then other times where it feels stuck and it's like multiple things kind of, you know, then I might physically release it, like punching the punching bag.
Is that your little vibration?
Sometimes, yeah, I do this. And I like immediately, I'm like, oh, I feel a little better just now.
Just that little bit?
Just that,
yeah. Yeah.
But I wonder if, when I see if you need a place for your anger, like I wonder if there was other things kind of throughout the week that were kind of building up or...
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder. That's something to think about. Because I could have nonviolent committed that guy. Mm-hmm. When I see you drive down the road in the middle of the street, I feel scared. Mm-hmm. And I feel angry. Because I've got a need for respect and a need for cooperation. Would you be willing to fuck right up?
Move the fuck over.
Get out here. This is my neighborhood. No. Would you be willing to like stop cussing at me? Would you be willing to? Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness. Diffuse it in little bits. All right, we're at the end. We're wrapping this bad boy up, or this bad girl up. We're wrapping this guy up, gal, this thing.
Thing.
What did we do here today? What did we do?
We did a lot.
Yeah, we did. We talked about a lot of stuff. Man, I was at the yoga leaving, and you were like, I'm feeling some anxiety and don't know what we're going to talk about. And I was like, we'll figure it out together. I'll help you like I did last time. And like, you didn't help me last time. I thought I did help you last time.
Did you review?
Y'all go review. Y'all review.
I don't think there was assistance there.
I think we got to Phil Phails at Balance together.
That's not, no.
Well, do you feel helped this time?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, I did some homework last
You did,
night.
yeah.
I thought about it. This is the type of stuff I'm trying to do. Is have some pre-planning. I've been meeting with people ahead of time and talking to them about, hey, how do you want to approach this time together? So there's a little less uncertainty and some roadmaps.
Hey, there's a change.
That is a change. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I liked the uncertainty and the spontaneity of everything. And I also think this is good too.
Well, I mean, I think it happens anyways, maybe depending on the person. But you asked a question and we ended up talking about road rage, you know, or we talked about death and afterlife beliefs. So I think it's natural. The spontaneity is there.
I've thought on more than one occasion that you are my guru.
That's funny.
Can you be my guru?
No.
You don't get to choose. That ain't how it works.
I think so.
You could choose whether or not you're a guru or not?
Yeah.
No, a grasshopper could be my guru. Right? Grasshoppers can't choose. You can't choose. I learned from you in little ways and in big ways through our time together in the yoga studio and before and after it in ways that I appreciate.
Same.
So I'm your guru?
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Whatever. All right. Well, I did go that far. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
It's 10:25, so we're wrapping it up. How do you want to wrap it up? Is there anything you want to share with the world at the conclusion of this time?
I think I've shared a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been Phil Phails at Hanging with Mary. Phil Phails at I don't know. I don't know what was the overarching theme? Something about probably compassion fatigue or joy, or it's not balance again, is it?
It kind of is.
Kind of is.
Yeah.
Balance part 2.
Yeah. There you go.
Mary likes to talk about balance, y'all.
I think that's just how we like to summarize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, look into that camera. Welcome to Phil Phails, and this is the end of Phil Phails. It's like the beginning and the end. This has been Phil Phails at Balance Part 2 with Mary Richardson-Perez, and yeah, that's a wrap. You want to wave at everybody? All right, we did it.
Yay.